For profit. You are all profit-oriented. Ayaw ng Diyos yan. Billions of people were and presently continuously being poisoned by modern food. Drinks using the GMO and chemicals. Source of raw materials starting from planting and finished products, incurable diseases and virus like HIV, AIDS, Ebola virus, and what we call this now ngayon, ginawa nyo naman, yung tinatawag na coronavirus, and other incurable diseases will now be cured because of this what we call herbal. Do not patronize the synthetic. Do not patronize. Supposed to be sinasabi nilang cure sa virus. Hindi nyo. You wanted to impose the mass vaccination in order to regain and gain profit of your dole out 100 million. Pasensya na dahil sa may isang upak na nabisto kung ano po ang inyong sinasabi, ang inyong ginagawa. This is now the time for us, people of the world. Wake up! You know what? At this point of time, do self-quarantine. Be healthy. Eat delicious foods. So ito yung panahon that we need to fight the strategy of the dark cabal who manage and what we call pharmaceutical company. Because the dark cabal are the owner of that pharmaceutical company. Pero yung mga virus na yan, coronavirus, Ebola virus, HIV, will be cured by what we call this herbal medicine against the medicine and vaccine produced by pharmaceutical company owned by the cabal. Manalig sa Diyos, manalig kay Allah, manalig kay Bathala. Bakit? Mas makapangyarihan pa ba sila sa Diyos? Mas makapangyarihan pa sila kay Bathala? Origin of virus were all identified, no? With ready herbal medicine to be used to cure the incurable diseases. You know what? The Philippines considered as I am. During the last, what they call this, video of mine, I discussed the origin and the history that needs to be revealed. Philippines is considered as I am. I am meaning the islands of ancient Maharlika will be the epicenter of new change for betterment of the globe to attain the global prosperity and peace on earth. Starting from new governance, and that is universal divine government. Starting from financial system of the world by establishing the Maharlika International Bank. The bank wherein not a bank. Because there is only payout, no deposit. Reverse sa ginawa ng mga kabal, mga bankers, na mag-deposit ka muna ng pera mo para interesan ang pera mo. Na alam mo matagal na tayong niloko na ang pera nyo na dinideposit, yan lang ngayon ang gumagalaw sa mga banking institution. That is why there is what we call a massive pull-out of accounts. Kawawa ang mga depositor pag mag-declare ng bankruptcy ang mga bangko. Because you know what? At this point of time, the money evolving in the banks are the depositors' money. Matagal na nilang kinuha ang kanilang mga kapital. Kasi akala nila, yung pera nila na madadala nila, ay yun ang makapagligtas sa kanila. Si Bathala gumawa ng paraan. Lahat ng ninakaw ninyo na pera sa bangko, kayong mga negosyante kayo, hindi na yan mapapakinabangan. Because there will be one currency who will rise up to save people of the world. Chosen people. And that is the golden Zion currency. Backed up by gold. Ginawa ninyong ang mga tao because of economic slavery. Hindi sila makakakain kung hindi magtrabaho. When in fact, binigay ng Diyos yan, pakinabangan ng pantay-pantay. Nganong malapad ang lupa ninyo, samantalang ang iba wala? Makakain kayo ng 3 beses, samantala yung iba wala. They are human too, like you. That's why I address this to all people, businessmen. You will be surrendering your money and riches to the government, so that the true government, the leader with pure heart, na ibangon sa kahirapan ng mga tao ang kanyang mga nasasakupan, that will be distributed equally. The Philippines island or island of ancient Maharlika will be the epicenter of new change for better men of the globe to attain the global prosperity and peace on earth, starting from new governance, financial system of the world, herbal medicine, new old technology, and the Philippines to become the spiritual center of the world under universal divine government. Our resurrection sa katotohanan, maraming salamat, sa inyong lahat. Always remember that the will of God always prevail against the will of men. Tandaan niyo yan. That is why last 2015, I think, if I am not mistaken, there is a call from Pope Francis. Pope Francis called all the members of United Nations organizations to end the dark cabal, the global slavery, in economy, hunger, poverty, environmental abuses, civil war, religious war, heartless businessmen, white slavery, yung mga tinatawag natin na mga discriminations, and many kind of abuses. Daily, 24/7. Child trafficking. The people on earth are fighting for survival. You know, my dear Maharlikans, the world needs a matter of 3.5 trillion to 5 trillion US dollar yearly to end the hunger and poverty. 2030. Hindi makikita yung data na yan. That data is divine intervention. Passed through divine interventions. The world need 3.5 trillion to 5 trillion US dollar yearly to end the hunger and poverty until 2030. Asa nato na makita? A total of 75 trillion. Where to get that money? Of maximum of 5 trillion per year for 15 years from now. For a total of 75 trillion. Where can we get that money? Only the International Bank of Maharlika. When the G Zion will be acknowledged by the world. All nations, okay? That's why Maharlika Nation give cash gifts to all the nations, 197, amounting of 10 million G Zion, equivalent of 2 billion as partial cash gifts. Asia wanted currency golden Zion. Maharlikas are willing to, by memorandum of agreement or by treaty. So ngayon, ang mangyari dyan, all nations are in red, bankrupt. Tingnan mo ang mga nangyayari. Fiscal deficit with bigger expenses, short income. Nga naman, dito lang sa Pilipinas. Kung hindi tayo short, bakit magkuha pa tayo ng utang na $100 million para itustusan ang panggasto natin sa coronavirus? Because expenses short income, under mountain of debt, tunit-uniladang utang, particularly the United States, with a minimum of total debt of 18.1 trillion. That is why at this point of time, I am still waiting for the announcement of President Donald Trump. That is why, people of the world, I want to encourage all religious leaders of the world, please pray for the safety of President Donald Trump. Hindi ko pakikialaman kung anong tingin ninyo kay Donald Trump. Kung nag-arali man kayo against America, hindi ko pakikialaman yan. Ang alam ko at nararamdaman ko that President Donald Trump is an instrument to realize the will of Bathala, including the partnership of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. That is why I appeal to all my followers all over the world, please pray for the safety of President Donald Trump until he declared martial law in the entire United States of America. But my advice to President Donald Trump, do not be complacent, because I know from the bottom of my heart, your enemy is beside you. Declaration of martial law is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, but I do believe that there is a divine intervention to protect Donald Trump. I do believe that President Donald Trump protected by the divine. So China and BRICS nations, there are a matter of almost 100 million Chinese are in extreme poverty living in a matter of $10,000 a month. Based on the television interview of Al Jazeera last 2015, the Chinese government will pretending to be stable, but the real truth of it, the Chinese economy is already reaching the bottom, financially drained. That is the reason why Chinese government promote digital currency. Other country promote digital currency. You cannot hide that. Mas ma-appeal pa rin ang paper currency. But in the letter of instruction, through the instruction of World Bank, no nations can print paper money without gold backup. Now, when the Chinese, US, and other nations who claim that they are rich in gold, why you cannot print money? Why you promote digital currency? Quantum financial system is good when the implementer is good and in favor to humanity. Pero pag napasukan ng demonyo ang yung quantum financial system, that will be part also of what we call realization of depopulation program. Kaya wag ninyo akong basahan ng mga idea ninyo na mga quantum financial system can be good. Good if the implementer aware that he or really needs to protect the welfare of the people. Kaya itong China's na ito, the government still pretending to be stable. But in real, the truth, no? If the Chinese economy is already reaching the bottom financial drain, the Chinese will experience a total economic collapse in the coming days, even though Chinese be considered as one of the two witnesses. The illegally invested hard money in the stock market is already 77 of 28 trillion fallout and daily fallout by the dark cabal investors. Investors that will result of stock production will be experienced by the Chinese people if the government will not follow the truth. Look at Chinese at this point of time. Sinasabi nila, naka-recover na sa coronavirus. But Chinese cannot bring their food, their products outside China. The import-export will be affected. Sino man ang tatanggap ng Chinese products produced by Chinese government? Wala. Because nauna lumabas ang coronavirus sa kanila. If the Chinese government will not follow the truth, that's why I'm calling the Chinese government, you need to recognize the International Court of Justice final decisions, case number 4136, dated January 25, 2006, September 10, 1976, sovereign agreement. The Chinese people will revolt against their own government because of extreme hunger and poverty. I am very sorry. That is already visualized 5 years ago. Tandaan, when the Chinese doesn't honor and recognize the sovereign agreement and the International Court of Justice decision, the Chinese people will revolt against their own government because of extreme hunger and poverty. That is why all nations looted the treasures coming from the ancient island of Maharlika will be experienced greatest turmoil. That is why I address also this to the United States and allies. The stock market in the United States and allies is the same with the Chinese stock market. Releasing positive figure, it is not like a balloon. It is like a balloon. That's why yung Dow Jones dropped for a matter of 20 later 1,000 points. Sunod-sunod. May 5, may 3, hanggang sa ma-accumulate ang 20,000 points na pagbagsak. That is why, ang susunod dyan is ang declarations ng mga bangko na bankrupt. Kaya palagi kayong stable pang ekonomiya, kaya pa. Ngayon ang nakadarapa kayo na magbigay kayo ng dole out sa inyong mga citizen, a matter of 1,200, pag mag-asawa, 2,400, through ATM, diretsyo na, through account, through bank books. But in reality, because you cannot fund with paper currency. Now you know already the power of God, the power of Bathala. And I am happy because there is a leader firm like President Trump to protect the welfare of the people of the world. Yet, he received a lot of criticism from the dark forces. Culprit. That is the reason why President Trump wanted to dissolve the Federal Reserve, go back to the U.S. Treasury. The stock market in the United States and allies is the same with the Chinese stock market, releasing positive figure. It is now like a balloon that any time the stock market will become empty, 100% bubble. The 52 trillion US dollar invested in the stock market is more than 50% plus full out, and secretly daily pull out till all the invested hot money 100% pull out. The Dark Cabal Corporation are the beneficiaries, while the 300 plus million Americans are the willing victims. So the American government has no other choice but to pronounce, recognize, and implement the 7th September 10, 1976 Sovereign Agreement, signed by the United States President Gerald Ford and Philippine President Ferdinand Emmanuel Edralin Marcos, wherein regarding the buyback of the Philippine Islands under the OCT number 779 without constant measurement of 4,052 square kilometers in the amount of $20 billion US dollars plus interest of 4% per annum. Present value of 50 billion US dollars or 10 metric tons of heritage gold with present value of 18 trillion to 20 trillion US dollar. Again, may I repeat, address to the government of the United States of America and people, force the government, American citizen. The American government has no other choice but to pronounce, recognize, and implement the September 10, 1976 Sovereign Agreement signed by what we call this United States President Gerald Ford and Philippine President Ferdinand Edradin Emmanuel Marcos regarding the buyback of the Philippine Islands under OCT number 779 with constant measurement of 452,000 square kilometers in the amount of a matter of 20 billion US dollars plus interest of 4% per annum with present value of 50 billion US dollar to or 10,000 metric tons of heritage gold with present value of 18 trillion to 20 trillion US dollar. Na kung saan diniposito before sa World Trade Center na binomba noong September 11, 2001. Na kung saan pinalabas na terroristic act. That is after that, if you still remember, go back to the YouTube, President Bush said that the Philippines is the most richest country in the world. Kaya hinanap ng mga, because ang China ang nagdala ng 10 metric tons of heritage gold sa World Trade Center, gusto nilang kunin, naging abo, naging tisa. Kaya nga, the Federal Reserve cannot present the real image of the 10,000 metric tons of gold. That's why I challenge the central bank. The 10,000 metric tons of gold was looted by the Chinese government to the Philippine island, to ancient islands of Maharlika. That is the story. That's why people of the world, superpower country, wanted to get the 10,000 metric tons of heritage gold deposit to World Trade Center, kaya binomba nila. Nung tinignan nila, wala. Nagiging tisa ang sinasabi nilang ginto na deposito, amounting of 10,000 metric tons of gold. United States central banks, the Federal Reserve System, overprinted the fiat US dollars in the amount of 300 plus trillion US dollars that automatically buried the American people to 1 million US dollar debt per head. Isipin mo yan? Dahil itong Federal Reserve System at yung United States Central Bank nag-print ng pera, fiat dollars, sa isip nila na mayroon silang backup na gold. Ang nangyari, that resulted that every Americans has at utang amounting of 1 million US dollars. From 60,000 US dollar per head. So 18,000 US dollar or 18 trillion US dollars, okay, i-divide mo yan sa 300 million Americans. Why I keep on talking about the history of America? Because the Philippine peso was backed up by the dollar of United States of America. When the economy of America collapsed, that is the end of the Philippine economy. Because the Philippines peso has no gold backup. That is why Central Bank and Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas cannot present to the people of the Philippines the certificates of gold backup. Pero ngayon, the certificate is already null and void because Bathala take over. Kaya kahit gaano pa ninyong hawak ng certificate ninyo na kayo ang may hawak na ganito, your problem is you don't have territory, you don't have nations. That's why you cannot print money. See? The Americans has nothing to lose except for pride, if not. When President Donald Trump declared that all currency will be backed up by gold, at the same time acknowledged Zion as currency, the Americans and the people of the world has nothing to lose except for pride. If not, only the Americans will suffer, but the people of the world, the agony, poverty, hunger, and chaos will be extended. Again, the American has nothing to lose except of pride, if not. Not only the Americans will suffer, not only Americans will suffer, but the people of the world, the agony, the poverty, the hunger, and chaos will be extended. That is why United Kingdom and European Union, the same situations with America, with China, BRICS nations. United States and allies stock market are manipulated. It is presently inflated, full of bubbles that will 100% will burst any day from now. Continuous pull out of the 55 trillion US dollar is secretly going on. The monarchies in Europe cannot stop the economic stock market collapse. They have fiat currency in their banks, worthless currency that cannot put in circulation to government funds because all government funds came from taxpayers' money. Uulitin ko. Uulitin ko. The monarchies in Europe cannot stop the economic stock market collapse. Same in US and China. Why? They have a fiat currency in their bank. Worthless currency that cannot put in circulations to government funds because all government funds came from taxpayers' money. The Malaysians has also the same situation like other stock markets. China, BRICS nations, US allies, United Kingdom, and European Union that are part of the global conspiracy against the Filipino people will suffer the same economic stock collapse anytime from now. Again, the Malaysians has do the same situation like other BRICS market or stock market, like China, BRICS nations, US allies, European Union, that are part of the global conspiracy against the Filipino people. Ninakawan ninyo kami ng dignidad. Ninakawan ninyo kami ng yaman na para dapat sa amin. All of you will suffer the same economic stock collapse anytime from now. Mark my word. And this is also addressed to the Philippine state. Philippine stock market, masakit man sabihin, I don't care. Even though President Rodrigo Roa Duterte see my video, Mr. President, I'd like to inform that the Philippine stock market secretly are moving their individual assets in another nations. Any bank in the world has under the Light Workers Secret Service that monitor all the illegal funds. It cannot be hid. And I know, Mr. President, you know what I am talking. That is why I respect you. That's why Maharlikan people loves you. That is why until this point of time, I keep on calling your attentions. And I want you to be informed. Please let your economic leaders monitor the movement of the stock market. Monitor the movement of this what we call businessmen who are arrogant, who are greedy. Kung gusto mong matapos, if you want to put an end the slavery of the Filipino people where you govern, I want you to know that the Philippine stock market secretly are moving their individual assets in another nations. Any bank in the world has been under the light workers secret service that monitor all the illegal funds. It cannot be hide. The 185 trillion US dollar plus 77 trillion US dollars illegally invested in the stock market will be pulled out 100%. The dark cabal has always given the chance to change into light workers or evaporate. That is why when you, global elite, you don't have any choice but to donate or give all your richness to the government, to the trusted people. Surrender your richness to Maharlika. Because you cannot hide. Maharlikan nations, of course through the partnership of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, will distribute the wealth of Bathala equally. Okay? The dark cabal has always given the chance to change into light workers or evaporate. All members of the United Nations, the Committee of 300, nations and organizations of the cabal has nothing to lose except for pride. On recognizing again and pronouncing the implementing the truth regarding the September 10 Sovereign Agreement, 1976 Sovereign Agreement, and January 25 final decision of the International Court of Justice on ICJ case number 4136 regarding the looted assets and properties of the Axis power. Ibalik ninyo. Germany, Italy, and Japan during the World War II. Okay? The 7 billion people are suffering. Suffering, spiritual and material disaster will be experienced. When you don't honor the ICJ January 25 decisions sa case ng 4136 and the Sovereign Agreement September 10, 1976, there are 7 billion people are suffering. Spiritual and material disasters will be experienced. So para wala tayong talo dito, ano ang mangyayari dito? So when it comes to win-win solution, the global conspiracy against the innocent 101 or 104 million Filipino people must now be reversed by all the members of the Committee of 300. By recognizing the sovereign agreement and the final decisions of the International Court of Justice. Meron pa kayo. So there are 7 differences between spiritual and religion. Kaya nga ako sa live ko, welcome ang lahat. Sa page ko, welcome ang lahat ng mga religion. At nagtugma ang aking prinsipyo sa prinsipyo ng isang tao na kung saan divine intervened. There is what we call divine interventions. Religion makes you bow. Spiritually sets you free. Religion shows you fear. Spirituality shows you to be brave. Religion tells the truth. Spirituality lets you discover it. Religion separate from other religion. Spirituality unites them. Religion makes you dependent. Spirituality makes you independent. Religion applies punishment. Spirituality applies karma. Religion makes you follow other journey. Spirituality lets you create your own. The will of God or Bathala always prevail against the will of man. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Hanggang dito na lamang yung ating live ngayong araw. So abangan nyo pa ang mga susunod po natin na sasabihin. Please pray for my safety. Please pray for my health. Pray for that the divine will intervene you in order for you to understand what I am talking. And thank you for the trust and confidence. Hindi ko man nakakausap itong tao na ito na nagbigay sa akin ng kaalaman na ito. But you know from the bottom of my heart, you are my spiritual brothers. I cannot understand why all of my expose, kumbaga, in line to your line of visioning. That's why people of the world, thank you so much. Always remember, mahal ko kayo lahat. I am not a politician. I am not as brilliant as you are. I am not knowledgeable as you are. But you know what? I believe that Bathala's will prevail against the will of men. Maraming salamat and mabuhay po tayong lahat. Thank you. Mabuhay Maharlikans, and please be positive. Follow the instructions of our local government. Do self-quarantine. Submit yourself to self-quarantine, because in the next day, expect the unexpected. Remember, our enemy is unseen. But don't you worry, because we have also unseen allies. Thank you so much to millions of spiritual light workers who supported me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I don't know you personally, but I know you spiritually. And you know me spiritually. Hindi man tayo nagkita, hindi man tayo nagkakadaupang palad, hindi man tayo nag-uusap ng personal, but thank you for guiding me always. Do whatever you can to save the human race against the power of the dark cabal. Lahat, sabi po ni Ate Angeline, hello, sabi po ni Ate Angeline, laban ng sir, we support you for Maharlika Nations and the Zion currency. Maraming salamat, Ate Angeline, all the way from Australia. So dito lamang po nagtatapos yung aking live. So thank you so much for the 300 live viewers. Please share so that people of the world will be enlightened of what I am talking. I don't want to fight any government of the world, because first and foremost, I know from the bottom of my heart, I am your ally if you have what they call this concern to the welfare and protections of the human race. Do not let the dark cabal, the dark forces, the Illuminati realize their visions of realizing their program, depopulation. They wanted to kill people of the world in order for them to govern this universe. But you cannot prosper. Bathala will defeat you no matter what. Di kayo magtatagumpay. Salamat and thank you.